Actor Burt Reynolds has died. Confirmation coming today from his agent, who confirmed to ABC News that the actor, who was nominated for an Oscar in the 1990s, has died at the age of 82. A shooting in downtown Cincinnati has left 4 dead, including a gunman. Mayor John Cranley says a man walked into a loading dock of a bank and opened fire.
He was actively shooting innocent victims, it appears, and our officers were able to kill him and stop the threat very quickly. So we could imagine the situation being much worse than it was.
3 victims died, 2 more are hurt.
Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh is clarifying an answer to a previous question about conversations with lawyers about special counsel Robert Mueller, who heads the Russia probe.
I haven't had any inappropriate conversations about that investigation with anyone. I've never given anyone any hints, forecasts, previews, winks, nothing about my view as a judge or how I would rule as a judge on that or anything related to that.
The Treasury Department is sanctioning a North Korean citizen and entity in connection with the massive hack of Sony in 2014 and the WannaCry ransomware attack. Computer programmer Park Jin-hyuk and Chosun Expo joint venture are named as co-conspirators.
Department of Homeland Security says it's going to terminate a court agreement that says children in immigration custody should be released after 20 days. That could mean families caught crossing the border illegally will be held longer.
The "it wasn't me" line has now been echoed by at least 4 senior administration officials who deny that they wrote yesterday's anonymous New York Times op-ed piece claiming to be part of a resistance inside the Trump administration. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, Director of National Intelligence Dan Coats, Vice President Mike Pence, and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin all say they are not the author.
5,000-acre wildfire in Northern California has forced several miles of the normally busy Interstate 5 to close down. The Delta Fire erupted yesterday afternoon.
At least 9 people are dead, 30 are missing after a magnitude 6.7 earthquake hit the Japanese island of Hokkaido. Dozens of landslides have destroyed homes, millions are without power. The Supreme Court in India has reversed its ruling from several years ago, struck down a colonial-era law making homosexual acts punishable by up to 10 years in prison.
And Burberry is making some changes. The British fashion brand now confirms it will stop using real fur. It also says it's going to end the practice of destroying old items that it can't sell, instead expanding a program to reuse, recycle, or donate them.
And the Oscars' controversial new category for popular film is going to have to wait until 2020. The Academy announced today they recognize implementing any new award 9 months into the year creates a challenge for films that have already been released. After a wide range of reaction to the new award, CEO Dawn Hudson says they clearly need to discuss these changes further with members of the Academy.
A British coroner now says a lead singer of the Cranberries, Dolores O'Riordan, drowned earlier this year. The coroner says the 46-year-old was drunk when she accidentally drowned in a bathtub.
And a golf course in North Dakota is going to offer drone deliveries of burgers and drinks to people out on the course later this month. Players place their orders on an app, then the drone lowers the food down on a rope at Kings Walk Golf Course in Grand Forks.
I'm ABC News meteorologist Melissa Griffin with today's weather headlines. The remnants of Tropical Depression Gordon continue to feed in tropical moisture and bringing that flood threat from Mississippi all the way up through Illinois today. Right along that stationary front, that tropical moisture is going to slam against it, and it's going to be a lot of rain over the next few days. Flash flood watches are in effect for parts of Missouri and Illinois. And take a look at how much rain is expected across the Ohio Valley. This is for the end of the week into the weekend, right into Monday. 5 to over 8 inches of rain is possible anywhere from St. Louis all the way to Pittsburgh, and that's because the combination of that stalled front and the remnants of Tropical Depression Gordon. Speaking of the tropics, it is very active out there. We have 2 tropical waves off the coast of Africa. One is very likely going to be our next storm, and the other one is just moving off the coast with a medium chance for development. But of most concern is Hurricane Florence. We're watching that closely for Bermuda. It has weakened to a Category 2 hurricane now, but we're watching it possibly strengthen by next week into a Category 3 yet again as it gets close to Bermuda. Now everyone's asking what is going to happen beyond Bermuda. Well, the models are still not in agreement. Some models have it curving away from the east coast of the U.S., but other models have it getting near the Carolinas. So we'll be watching this very closely. Regardless, large waves, dangerous rip currents are possible along the east coast from Hurricane Florence as early as next week.